Morning, everybody. Something a little bit different today. My name's Bill. It's Pirate Solutions Forestry. Some of you, if you've been following me for a long time, have seen a lot of this. This is kind of how I cut my teeth in milling. But today we are doing a big job for a friend, and it is a big one. We are milling a 20-foot white pine log. It's 30 inches across the butt right here, 20 feet long, stuck on a hillside up in the woods. But we couldn't get it out of the woods to be able to take it to the sawmill. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you around a little bit, show you kind of what I'm getting into with basic setup here real quick. If you want to go back and watch like a chainsaw milling 101 video, it kind of goes over all this stuff. This is a little bit more complicated because I had to put ladder extensions on. I'll show you how I do that. And I've got to get, right now I have the twist out of it. I'll show you how you look for that. And I've got to make sure that it's dead flat, and I've got to get some high spots shimmed. And I'll take you along for the ride. And we'll even do some cutting. It's going to be like one of our hottest days of the summer today. I'm out here early. We are in the woods in the shade. But I'm not going to finish this log today. I just want to get started on it, get a place to put the slabs, and get some of the stuff that I need to pack in here to do this setup out of here. So next time I'm just coming with saws and wedges and things like that. So we're going to get a start on it today and finish it up either tomorrow or Thursday. I'm not sure, but I'll give you a look at it here. And you are going to see cutting today too. You're going to see me take top off this. So I'm going to take you around by hand here. I'm going to apologize if you shake around a little bit, but it's the best way to show this thing. Obviously, monster end there. I've got it secured right now. I have no twist in it. I have it down as far as I can put it. I do have my ladder extensions on and show you what they look like. This is as far out really as I can go. These are going to have to be checked for flat and shimmed a little bit. But basically, there's a little rebate cut in these 4-foot plywood pieces that they fit perfectly inside the rail here. Nice and tight. Screw them from the inside. You can see there's a whole bunch of different screw holes so I can extend to different lengths, but in this particular case, I need as much as I can get. I only need enough to get on the log and then just a little bit to get off the log, and we'll be all set. And I believe I have that. So we have them down both ends. And I'll show you how we secure the ladder here in a minute. What we're going to do is we're going to go around and secure the spots that are touching, like right here and right here. We'll secure those spots first. And then we're going to have to come up with some creative ways to shim some of this, or it's going to want to wiggle really bad when you're going down. So we're going to want to secure a little bit of that. It's just a top cut. It's no big deal. It's going to come out flat. For end brackets, all I really use is just 2x4s. This does not need to be level. That's why I have the winding sticks on here. And if you look down the winding sticks, it's going to be hard for you guys to see. Basically, use the winding sticks. You drop your eyesight down like this until the top of the far one is lining up with the top of the one that you're looking over. And you'll be able to see if one side's sticking up or the other side's sticking up, and then you can adjust it. Now, I stuck these winding sticks on here to check it, and it's perfect. So it doesn't need to be level, but it does need to have no twist in it. So this takes the twist out, and now all we got to do is secure the ladder in place and make sure the rails are nice and flat. You know, as flat as we can make them. This is a big, long 20-foot cut. These are going to get bucked in half into 10-footers. This log originally was going to be bucked in half in the first place. Well, what happened was when I came out yesterday to look at what was supposed to be 2 logs, the arborist had dropped it and stuck it up on all this stuff. And there's a pretty good hillside here. I don't know if it's going to show on camera or not, but it's pretty steep. I could buck it in half and take these out and try and let one roll away, but the big battle here was going to be cutting it in half and then being able to get the halves away from each other so that I could mill them individually. And last night when I was at home, I just said, you know what, I'm just going to mill it the way it is. 20-foot passes, I've done these before. When the chain is sharp, I will be able to manage these in 1 tank of fuel. It should take about 12 minutes. We will time it when we do this top cut, but I'm going to get ready here to secure this ladder down. And after I get it done, I'll take you back and show you what I did so you're not kind of fumbling along with me here as I go. Also, one thing I do, if you see on top here, I do put a little screw on each side of the rail. I even do this on the ladder. And what it does is it keeps the setup from moving from the saw, from pushing the setup to the side. And it keeps them a little bit more stable. So even if I have that under the ladder, I still put those screws in there just to kind of hold it in place on that. And it's just sitting on top of it right now. So we are going to get out our little pipe straps and we're going to secure it down. First, I'm going to check, make sure it's straight and that it doesn't have to come up. But then we'll secure this thing down and I'll bring you back. All right, we're going handheld here. I'll show you how I tied the log down. I got my saw in the mill. I'm ready to fire it up and warm it up, fuel it up, oil it up. And I got to just take a couple measurements to see how deep I got to go on this first cut. But I'll show you how I tie the ladder down. I did shim it. I had to put a shim in right here because that rail was sagging a little bit right there. I actually re-screwed that in after I got it flat. I got this barely screwed down just so this won't move. This is secured down to this. I do have little kickers on both sides to keep that shim in place so it can't go anywhere. If you put shims in, you got to kind of screw them down, guys, because they will shake out during the cut. That's going to support this. So really only have one little area right here that's unsupported, so that shouldn't be too bad at all. The screw that goes down through the middle of it is barely poking out the bottom, just enough to keep this thing from wiggling. And we use these little pipe straps to tie it down. That was where it was supposed to be bucked in half right there. That's 10 feet. And the only thing you have to be careful of with these guys is when you put them on, make sure you put them on areas that are touching first so it secures the ladder in place. If you put one on like that where it's not touching, if you don't shim it, and you can put a shim under there, but you don't really need to. Just make sure that you don't strap that thing so tight that it deflects the ladder down. And I stuck one on here too, on that broken rung. That's the reason that I use this ladder, is because it has a broken rung on it. And we are ready to rock and roll here. I do have a little pitch on the rail right there I'm going to scrape off. But I'm going to get the saw fired up, warming up. It hasn't run in a long time. I'm running the small mill, the 36-inch mill, but it's extended all the way out, so I probably have 35 cut there. This is, I think, only 30 across, so that should be good. And I got 42 Oregon bar with Carlton rip chain on it. right, so the important stuff there, I know you're off mics right now, and I'll get you back on mics when I take all this apart and I show you the cut. It took way less than a tank of fuel and way less than the time that I thought it was going to. Just ate right through it. Chain's cutting great. Saw. It's way too much saw for these chains. This is going to mill apart fine, and now I'll have a workbench to work on too, which is good. But what I'm going to do is get this all taken apart, get these slabs off, get the slab wood off, get it cut in half, get it down here where I can stack slabs on top of it afterwards, and I'll bring you back after. All right, so we're going to take one more slab off this, but I want to show you the cut, answer a couple of common misconceptions with chainsaw milling. Number one, it takes a really long time. I see people all the time on forums making cuts much shorter than this, and oh, it takes me 45 minutes and 3 tanks of fuel. That took 6 minutes and 30 seconds. That's how long you can go back and time it in the video if you want. That cut took 6 minutes and 30 seconds. It's 24 inches wide down here, and maybe a little wider down that end. There's one thin section where I'm sitting. The other thing is that a saw like this won't oil a big bar without an auxiliary oiler. That's auxiliary oiler. That's 42. I did not run any auxiliary oiler with it. It used 3/4 of a tank of fuel, and it used 3/4 of a tank of oil. And I want to show you something. Look on this tree right here. See that right there? That's bar and chain oil. That far away from the cut. So I would say that it was oiling the bar plenty fine. Let's get you in to show you that beavers don't chew these things off. Now, can you see marks? Sure, I can see some marks. This is a 10-foot mark I made with a Sharpie. I got to cut it in half. But this is a really, really smooth cut, guys. Big wide cut down here. There were a couple of spots. Yeah, I mean, I can see a couple of little marks, but nothing serious. This cut wicked smooth. So no, it doesn't look like a beaver ate it off. It doesn't take a long time. It oils plenty fine. That's where all the slabs are going to go down there. And I think you guys probably heard that. Now, granted, mine are like 100 cc's and I port them, so that's a pretty powerful saw, but those clone saws are made for doing this. Absolutely made for doing this. So I'm going to I just fueled up. I got set at 4 inches. We're going to take a 4-inch off so Chris can have some 4x4s for table legs, and then I'm going to pack out for today. So let me get set up and we'll make another pack. You guys will see this in real speed or in hyperlapse, but I want to show you how much fuel is left in it. me stand this up. A little bit. We almost ran out. If I wasn't sharp, though, I wouldn't have made it. All right. We'll pull this off and do one big reveal, and then we're going to pack out. Chris, that's perfect. I got you in there for scale. Sit on the log. That was perfect. You can see how big that cut is. Say hi to everybody.
Looking good.
All right, so big reveal. Not too much different than the first one, just a lot wider. Cut. Chris videoed the cut, and he said it took between 8 and 9 minutes. It felt like longer than that to me. We had a little bit of fuel left, but we were almost out. You can see it's, I don't know what the, I'm not going to go grab a tape to measure this, but it's wide. I got a tape right there, Chris. See how wide it is. It's pretty consistent too. Wow, that's 24. That's 24. It looks wider. 24. Well, I cut bigger slabs than that on the mill the other week.
24 down here.
It's 24, really consistent all the way down. That was a wide cut. Pretty consistent, 24 inches all the way. How far? Oh, and we're right at the pith. Right, just above the pith. We're basically halfway through that log. Yep. And all is going to get easier from here. As you see, I cut these 4-inch slabs in half. We're going to have to mill these into 4x4s later. I was going to bring them back to sawmill, but the heck with that. I'll bring my vertical chainsaw mill here and put them up on sawhorses and do them right here in the woods. And this is gone. Show you two things. Number one, I want you to see how clean the teeth are on this chainsaw. I'm cutting pitchy pine that was just dropped off the stump. And I hope you can see how clean these teeth are. I will take this back. That means two things, that it's sharp and it's oiling good. If they were dull, you'd get a ton of pitch buildup on them. But you can tell that they're sharp because they're so clean, and it's getting great oil just with a standard oiler, no auxiliary oil. And you can see, for proof, the next line down there on that tree. And that tree's pretty far away. That's probably 3 feet that it's shooting bar and chain oil over there. So the thing is oiling great. When we come back, which will be another video altogether, we'll probably just do hyperlapse in that. We're going to have to eventually get this out of the way. I think that one right there, I'm just going to cut it off so it's under the log. And the other one's not in the way. So glad we made the decision to mill it right here, and rather than buck this thing in half and then try to reposition the logs. This is going much better. So I might do some milling from that end and mill back this way. It looks like it's a little downhill towards me, which would be nice. But we're going to get packed up, get back to the sawmill, and we will actually do a little dress up sharpening on that saw. And we will get some of this video up, and we'll be back here sometime the next 2 days to finish this off with some different width slabs. There he is. He didn't get to come with Dad milling, and I think he's a little pissed. But he's happy Daddy's home. What are you doing, Danny? You got an itch, Danny? You got an itch, Danny? I almost forgot to do an outro. I went inside and I peeled my clothes off outside because they were so soaked, and went inside, took a cold shower, and I was all ready to sit down and edit this video. And I said, oh crap, I didn't shoot an outro. So really quick, just a couple things. It was kind of fun to get back out there chainsaw milling again. I used to do it full time and sell slabs. That's really how I got my start in sawmilling. Through necessity, we have a woodworking business, and we had a whole bunch of Norway maples coming down in the yard, and we didn't want to waste them. That's what got me into chainsaw milling. Then everybody found out I had one, and it turned into a business on its own, kind of like today's job. One more misconception that I thought of on the way home today while I was dying is that if you think that freehand ripping those logs is faster, you're crazy. It took me 6 minutes and 30 seconds on the first cut, and it took me between 8 and 9 on the second cut. I haven't seen the video yet, but Chris videoed it, and he looked at it and said it was just over 8, just less than 9 on a 24-inch wide cut. If you think you can stand up, you can chalk a line on that log and drop down 2 plumb lines on the end and freehand rip that log in 9 minutes, you're crazy. The other thing is that I'll put my finish on chainsaw milled slabs almost up against anybody. I really believe that. I mean, I get some pretty smooth stuff off this sawmill with the Stella cut bands, but I think that I can do it with a chainsaw, especially on, say, a 36-inch bar where you're not going to get any flex in it or anything. I think I can mill easily as smooth as the Norwood with a chainsaw. Hand filing at 10 degrees. So I want to get those things out. Thank you guys for coming along for the ride. I will shoot another video. I'm going to wait till later in the week because it's supposed to go Arctic here later in the week, like lows in the 50s and highs in the 60s. That's going to be awesome. So one of those 2 days, either Thursday or Friday, I'm going to go finish out that log for him. And he's got some plans for what he wants to do with the wood. Very basic plans. He wants to make a table. He wants to make table legs, things like that. But he's 84 years old. I would have never guessed. I wouldn't have guessed within 10 years. I wouldn't have guessed he was a minute over 74, 75. And his wife came out and she's so happy that we did it because she felt so bad about taking that tree down. But it's gorgeous wood. That went really well other than I'm out of shape. On the second pass, which you guys will probably, I'm going to try to do on the second pass some hyperlapse, which you guys have probably already seen it, but some hyperlapse and some real time. But my shoulder was burning on the second pass. The saw ran flawlessly. That thing has not been started in over a year. Hanging inside in the saw shop for over a year and just fired right up, ran flawless. I love those Walbro WJ76 carbs. Those things are just an absolute beast for sitting for a long time and then firing right up and running great. Plus, I run the Red Armor mix. And just to be honest with you guys, I've run everything. My least favorite mix is steel. It just runs dirty. Red Armor runs clean. It's got additives in it. I started using it on a dare where I was the guy, oh, bullshit, blah, 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 saying to some people that were running it, it doesn't do that. It's just like anything else. And they dared me to try it. And I want to tell you, your saws start easier, they run better, and they can sit around for a long time, and the fuel stays good. And that's a home run. Every time I pull a top end apart on a saw, it's coated inside with red. The exhaust port is clean. The inside of the cylinder is clean. It runs great. And unfortunately, my local dealer is not carrying it anymore. So hopefully Home Depot keeps carrying it. Just in case you're wondering, I run 40-to-1. So I put 0.8 of a gallon of regular high test fuel into a can and 1 mix bottle in with it. I'm very careful about the way I mix everything. Nothing is by eye. Everything is 0.8 of a gallon and 1 fuel mix. And that gives me 40-to-1, and that's what I run. I run that in all my 2-cycle stuff, but I ran that for years in my mill saws. And I have mill saws, clone mill saws, that did nothing but mill lumber their entire lives, that are still running now. I mean, years and years and years later. I have 1 top end that didn't blow up. I just noticed that it was starting to get down on power. I was milling some oak for another customer in white oak and black oak at his house. And I noticed that it had started to get down on power a little bit. And I pulled it apart and just put a new top end on it. It was perfectly fine. It didn't even blow up. But I call that one maybe worn out. I do run caber rings in them, and the caber rings are kind of tough on China top ends. Anything that's not real thick, real hard Nicosil. The cable rings can be a little tough on, but I've had them go. I've got saws 10 years old that still start right up and pull through stuff like that, just like you saw. So I think that chainsaw milling's an enigma. I really do. I think that there's a lot of bad information out there. You know, if you watch me mill, you notice I'm not rocking the saw back and forth. And when I get done, it doesn't look like a beaver ate it. And I get done fast. It's because I run sharp chains. I stay nice and steady. I run real powerful saws. I have milled with 268s and 272s and got through some pretty big jobs with them. So they will do it on a 36-inch bar. They will, a 70cc saw will pull a 36 and mill oak. I have done it. It's tough on the saw. I blew up one. But these just, they go and go and go. And the way I build them, they cost about $500, but for the longevity, I have 5 of them. For the longevity, they're an absolute home run when you need them. So that's pretty much it. I'm going to get in, start editing this video, cool off a little bit. It's nice right here right now in the shade, but I did just get out of a cold shower. So thanks for the watch. Make sure that you hit that little notifications bell so you know when a video comes out from us. Hit the thumbs up, please. Help out the channel. You want to help out the channel even more, make a comment. That helps the algorithm suggest us. And for Danny, who's laying in the dirt, and myself, Pirate Solutions out.